Hi, this is Wiley, and today I'm going to be showing you how to cook and get leveled up as fast as possible. Now, cooking is probably the most resource intensive part of this whole game. Right away, you run into a limit with what you can get in a certain area because you just need to travel the entire map to find things. Fortunately, we're going to be working in First Light, the territory, and it's pretty easy to get up to level 3 resources here, and it's a great way to go ahead and level up. So we're in the kitchen. You can see it's a tier 3 kitchen. For this to work properly, you really want to have a tier 3 or higher. What we're going to focus on is light rations, then travel rations, and then we're going to focus on herb roasted potatoes, and then after that, light meals. So this is what we're going to have to do. So first, you're going to start off with light rations. You only have to be level 0. You can see I have the resources, the kitchen's the right tier, and I have the proper skill. Just needs a tier 1 raw food. You're going to get these from boars, fowl, rabbits, some of the, just the more common things that you're going to find out here. So just tier 1 raw foods, craft. Alright, so you're going to have to do a few of these until you get up to level 1, which is going to be really quick. It's not going to take you very long. Then you can start making travel rations. Now see, travel rations are a little bit more difficult. Now we need tier 2 raw foods and a raw food, tier 1 or higher. So tier 2, we're going to find plenty of these. As you can see, we have strawberry, squash, corn, and carrot. For raw foods, don't waste your tier 2s in the second slot. Use tier 1s. Craft. We'll be finding the tier 2 foods. You can get these from things like wolves and farms, some of the higher level animals. Basically, we're going to rely on farm materials, and we're going to go ahead and just focus on those because we really don't want to. It takes time to go ahead. It's not very efficient to go ahead and hunt the wolves down. There's wolves in this area, but it's kind of inefficient. The easiest way you're going to be doing is just going ahead and collecting stuff from the farms. Even though you have to fight your way through enemies sometimes, it's still the easiest way to do it. So you're going to keep using the travel rations, which give you 24 cooking, until you can go ahead and open up herb roasted potatoes. This is where it gets a little bit more complicated. See, now we need cinnamon, which you're going to find in herbs, and we'll cover that here. And butter. Now butter, and one of the reasons why we pick First Light, it comes from milk. Milk you get from cows. Cows aren't in every single town. So another reason why we're using First Light, it has a cow. Great place to be. And you're going to need honey. Just about every town has a beehive in it. You can get honey there. Also in First Light, there's an area that has a lot of honey. You're really not going to run out of honey, so don't really worry about that too much. And while we're talking about butter, under food components is where you make it. You just go get your milk. I have 24. Exit out and craft it. Too easy. Now you're going to be getting a lot of potatoes, so we're not worried about that. The only bottleneck you might have is going to be the butter, but honestly I haven't had an issue with that because you make a fair amount with it, and you got 48 cooking, so it's going to go up pretty quick. In doing this, you're going to go ahead and open up light meals. Now unless you're level 20, you're not going to be able to eat this, but you can still make it. This is where we need the tier 3 kitchen. So we need tier 3 raw foods, any tier raw food, and another any tier raw food. Now in this case, we don't want to use cabbage. It's a tier 3. By the time you're at this point, we're not so worried about going ahead and conserving our tier 2s. So you can go ahead and put tier 2s in, and we're going to be collecting tier 1s. So I might as well do that. the more tier 1 you collect, the less tier 2. It just adds up to more things that you can go ahead and make. So we're going to just craft this for a while. As you can see, I'm up to 75. I've been doing this for a few hours. It goes fairly quick. So let's get started here. First thing we're going to do is location. So we are at first light. And let me zoom in here a little bit. Right here's the kitchen. It's got crossed fork and spoon on, looks like a skillet. And what we're going to be doing is coming out right around here is pork. We're going to go ahead and be doing a lot of hunting with pork. There's some herbs through here too, so you're going to want to grab that, especially if you haven't gotten to the point of herb roasted potatoes yet. Once we get around this point over here, we're going to go ahead and arc on up to this farm here. Over in this area, this section here is strawberries, carrots, and potatoes. So we're going to get our potatoes, strawberries, carrots here, tier 2s and tier 3s. Come on over here. There's more potatoes over in here, and I believe there's some corn right here. Over here we have squash and squash right here. So we're going to go ahead and want to get all that, tier 2s, tier 3s. Then if we need to, we're going to come down through here. There's a lot of herbs through here, but as you can see right now, we have corruption, and so it's going to be a little sketchy trying to go ahead and get the herbs. Once you pass the herb roasted potatoes, you don't really have to collect the herbs as much as you want. I kind of collect them out of principle because you can't really have too much of this stuff. All right, so arc around this way here, and over here we have corn and cabbage and some squash over here. There's also tier 1 raw meat here in the form of rabbits. Semi-efficient. You're going to have to be killing enemies through here. So you're going to have to balance that against, only getting one piece of meat from the rabbits. Is it worth it? It's entirely up to you. Depends on if you want to work on your weapon skills at the same time you're going ahead and collecting. After that, come back and repeat until you're full. All right, now I'm going to show you a resource map that I use, and you can see where everything's at exactly. All right, so this is the resource map that I use, and there'll be a link to it in the bottom of this video. First thing you want to do when it opens up, now you're going to wind up having all this stuff up here, and it's just going to be really confusing. So hide all, first thing you do. Start typing in. Now you don't have to get the full word, you can just type in a little bit of it, or you can do the full thing. All right, so it's going to show corn. And let's zoom in here on first light. So you see we have corn here, we have corn scattered around through this area here. Cabbage. Actually, let's do it in order. So corn, strawberries. I must have spelled that wrong. Okay, that is the problem with these resource maps. Oh, there it is. There it is. It came up this time. So we have strawberries over here. Potato. Got potatoes in here. Bunch of potatoes over here too. And squash. Helps if I spell it right. There we go. Squash through here. Squash over here. And cabbage, which is the last thing. It's a tier 3. All up over in this town here on both sides of the road. So that's where our resources are. Again, right through here is going to be raw meat off of ores. And over here will be raw meat off of rabbits if you want to go ahead and go through the effort of finding them. Now, if you want to get tier 2 raw meat, over here, there's wolves. But again, for the effort, compared to just going ahead and collecting the stuff sitting in the farms, it's not really worth it that much. Also, another thing you'll want to do is when you level up to level 9 and find some nutmeg. We already found the honey here in town. When you find some nutmeg and carrots, go ahead and make these roasted carrots because they give you 1,000 points of luck to skinning. We got herb roasted carrots here, which again, like everything else in cooking, you have to go all over the place looking for stuff. But right off the bat, you can get roasted carrots. So go ahead and craft yourself some of these. Might as well get the bonus while we're hunting here. And you will find crafting mods with it, so it's worth having. Let's get started here. I'm going to go ahead and use my roasted carrots so I get my luck bonus, and we'll start. So right here, once you get out of town, you're going to start finding, see already, there's a hog. He's almost always here unless somebody killed him. And I like to go ahead and use both my weapons so I get the XP. Now I didn't drop everything, so you'll see that my weight's already moving a little bit. We want to make this truly efficient, drop everything and just get out of here and do it. Also, right after you get out the gate and start looking around the town here, you get herbs. And if you need to, you want to collect them. All right, see, we got cinnamon there. You're always going to get this hyssop. And generally what I do is I just go ahead and dump it because it's just so common. You're going to get hundreds of them. There's nutmeg. And there's cinnamon. Now you'll find that you're going to find purples the most. So things like saffron in this area, you're going to find that the most. Hyssop, definitely going to find every single time. Next to that is the green items. So here, that's dill. And the final ones are the brown items, I call them. Those are cinnamon and nutmeg. Also, the thing with herbs is each territory has a different brown or higher tier herb. Cutlass Key, which is a territory right next door, the one that you find there the most is going to be peppercorn. So just remember that you're not going to find all the herbs that you're going to need in the game in one spot. You're going to have to travel from territory to territory. And as you're going through here, just go ahead and take your time. Hunt as much as you can because we want to have a lot of the tier 1 raw meat. No matter if you're working on the tier 1 food or the tier 3 food. Alright, so we've made it. The stairs are right there. We've made it to the point where we're going to turn. I use these herbs here as a landmark. The last set of herbs that are here before the turn. And you can see on the map where we're at. So we're going to turn from here and head on up. After I collect these herbs here. let's head on over to the town. All right, so now we're on the backside. I usually do this backside first. Trying to minimize how much conflict I get into just to go ahead and make it most efficient. So I go ahead and do the backside first. Collect everything in this little area here, and this is where you're going to start finding your potatoes, your strawberries, and your carrots. Now, odds are that zombie is going to go ahead and respawn while you're doing this. So just be aware that you might have to back away and engage it again just to do the spot again. Alright, in a moment here we'll head back out. Alright, once you've collected the last of the potatoes in here, head back out the way you came. Gonna hook around this windmill right here. And you want to do it this way so you don't have to fight your way over to here, just speeds it up a little bit. And again, I like to have a ranged weapon because you can aggro two of these guys at once or more. I'm not going to aggro the spitter over there because he throws stuff at you. But you can aggro the regular zombies with these, get them all coming at you at once and kill them at once, as many as you can at once rather than having to run over and do each one individually. Alright. Alright, after you got those, sneak by this guy here. Oh, it didn't work. Okay. Get rid of him real quick. Two corn. So coin you're going to use for the luck meals, but again, you can go ahead and use it generally for the tier 3 meals because you're just going to find enough of it. You don't really have to manage it that much. And once we get done with this section here, we'll go ahead and look at exactly how many resources we have, so we can go ahead and figure out what just this little trip here is going to do for us as far as working on that tier 3 food. Like for the repair parts. right, here's our squash. Leave him alone. Hopefully he didn't. He found us. Alright, and this section here will be the last of our squash. So let's go ahead and get this last piece here. Head on out a little way so we're safe from this zombie here. And look at what we got, and we can figure out how many of the tier 3 foods we can make. Or the other foods, actually. Let's go ahead and check. So the tier 1 food, just using tier 1 raw ingredients, we can make 9. Tier 2, obviously 9 is going to be limited by that. Well, actually, technically we can make 12, 16, 28, 33, 46 maybe. By half is 23, so 23 tier 2 foods if we split it up through that. And as far as the tier 1, 23 divided by 2, 46 divided by 3 is better than 12. So better than 12 tier 3 foods, and just that little thing. But we're going to keep going until we are full. All right, so now we're on the back side of the farm, the northeast of town. I'll show you here on a map. So here's town. Here's the backside of the farm. Squash is over here. It's a lot of corruption over here, so didn't really collect any of the herbs. Just kind of snuck up around this way and went for the squash right away. Now there's chalky rabbits here, which is a fairly good source of tier 1 meat. But the only problem is you only get one piece of meat with them. With the pork, at least you get 1, but up to 3. All right, so we've come over the hill, cleared all the corn out. Now we got cabbage, which is another tier 3 vegetable. And after you get this here, you can there's a road right in front here. You can hop on that road and just turn left and run back down to town and start the cycle again. All right, so I did 2 trips. We're gonna say it's about 40, but we'll count it about 60 minutes. Because you're gonna be running around doing things and might not be able to just focus exactly on it. But in 30 minutes, I have enough materials to make 89 tier 3 meals for a grand total of 8,010 XP towards cooking. That's pretty impressive. Now I have 2 trips worth of this. So let's see where. So I'm at 75. And we'll just start going through. So use the tier 1s up first. 17. We'll have that, so... Oh yeah, and I'm not counting using honey. Even though we could if we wanted to. Another 31. We're up to 83. Still on potatoes. Start using tier 2s for everything now. We're out of tier 1s, and we don't want to use the milk. Actually, to maximize this, let's start using the honey. It counts as another tier 1. We'll save some of these tier 2s for a little later. Up to 95. Switch to cabbage. And total. Alright, do the potato there and switch this out for the last little bit. Alright, and that's it. So now at 98, almost 100. Have plenty of food. I have way more food than I need. Gotta craft this because of milk. Got some more butter. Well, there you go. And that's the easiest way to go ahead and level up cooking in the game. Remember, first light and just run around and collect everything you can. All right. If you did like this video, please subscribe and go ahead and follow me on Twitch. My channel name is Wiley Silverback. Hope to see you there. Bye.